Previously on the channel, we talked about the reality TV show The Liquidator, which is a show about a liquidator. Not much more to unpack there. And if you haven't checked that out, go check it out. Not now, after. But in that video, I make a point about it being sort of Pawn Stars adjacent in a lot of how the show is conducted and what goes on with all the deals they make and whatnot. So for this video, I figured we'd check out a show that is even closer to Pawn Stars. Probably as close as you can get to the show without visiting the shop in Vegas itself. And that is the History Channel's Cajun Pawn Stars. Once again, exactly what you think. It's the same exact show, just instead following a pawn shop in Louisiana. And thankfully this does air on the History Channel because it gives me another reason to still hold on to the History Vault subscription that I get use out of 2 times a year at best for a video like this. Now, there are only 2 seasons of this show that aired over 10 years ago, so not a hit, I'd say. I figured we'd take a look at the very first episode to see what they came out swinging with for their debut of Cajun Pawn Stars.
I'm Jimmy DeRamus. Folks call me Big Daddy.
And by folks, I mean the folks over at the History Channel that conjured up this storyline and gave me that name to coincide with Big Hoss on the actual Pawn Stars, because no one's ever fucking called me that.
My family's been in Louisiana since before the Civil War. Today, we run one of the largest pawn shops in the South.
Already, the owner, Jimmy, looks like a mob boss that was placed in witness protection and relocated here to Louisiana.
Where I live, there's no such thing as business as usual.
Of course not. It's a pawn shop reality show. Why would it be anything other than business as usual?
I got some raccoon. Which one we gonna cook?
I'll buy and sell anything.
This would be $1 million clip.
Also, I know there has to be a Samsung TV Plus channel playing this show 24/7. There has to be.
One of the things that's unique about my business is animals. I buy them, I sell them, and I pawn them. That can make things really interesting. Over the years, I've bought pigs, I've bought donkeys, I've bought goats, and I've even bought a zebra.
And I even married my wife, Charlene. That fucking cow.
I'm on my way now to see my friend Gerald. He's got some livestock he wants me to check out. I'm bringing my daughter Tammy, who made her first pawn when she was 9 years old.
So for our first potential deal of the show ever, we're going to go look at some donkeys. Definitely setting a tone here. Well guys, it's me, but looking slightly different, so you know what that means. It's time to pay some bills and thank the sponsor of today's video, Babbel. Babbel has been a longtime supporter of the channel and is one of the leading language learning apps worldwide. Whether you prefer the Babbel app, live online classes, or even podcasts, they've got you covered. Personally, I've always wanted to learn Spanish because many of my friends speak it fluently, and I am slowly getting there myself, on my own volition, might I add. Learning with Babbel isn't just about picking up a new language for me, it's also about self-improvement because it's refreshing to challenge myself and continue learning because in my old age that I am now, I often am not learning anything at all. What makes Babbel stand out for me is how easy they make it to jump back into learning because oftentimes when I am learning a new thing, I take a long hiatus and then try to jump back in, find my place, and struggle doing so. But Babbel makes it easy for that to not happen. Yo hablo español.
Perdón, hablas inglés.
Perdón, habla inglés. Hello? No. Not now. 5 minutes. Thank you.
Ella habla italiano.
Ella habla italiano. Plus, if Babbel doesn't meet your expectations, they offer a 20-day money-back guarantee. Wow. So if you're ready to give Babbel a try and learn a new language or jump back into learning a new language, use my link in my description to get an exclusive 60% off your subscription. Let me know in the comments if you do. Let me know what language you want to learn. Huge thank you to Babbel for sponsoring, and now back to the video.
Oh, you got
my plans.
Man, let me tell you. My hands have been there in a lot worse than that, you know?
Wait, you just fucking kill a guy? He's like, oh, don't mind me, my hands are dirty, then right to his fucking gun.
I asked Mr. Jimmy from Silver Dollar Pawn.
Is it just me, or do these sound effects sound like shit? Like they were ripped off of a YouTube video titled wood_creaking.mp3.
To come down and give me a loan on some of my donkeys. I've been doing this since I was 6 years old. The way we look at it here, we're Louisiana's first and United States citizens second.
Alright, well, take that as you will.
They have the perfect crucifix on that back. We all call them Jesus donkeys. Jesus rode that donkey from Nazareth.
It's in the Bible.
It's in the Bible.
Correct. I'd argue most of what we know about Jesus is in the Bible.
I used to do all the donkey basketball games down in this
Sure
country.
did, yeah.
Here you have to negotiate a little bit different because these aren't strangers. These are neighbors. So you got to do the neighborly thing. Make a little conversation before you jump into the deal.
So yeah, that's the main difference between this show and the main Pawn Stars, where they screw you right away. Unlike this show, where you maybe tuck your gold chain away, make some small talk about donkeys and Jesus, then bend them over and fuck them.
So what you trying to do with them?
We'd like to get a loan on them or a pawn, which is both about the same.
Yes, it is the same. I'm just loaning you money on your...
Right.
Now, I don't know if this is because it's the first episode or not, but they do a lot of explaining on the ins and outs of pawn deals, to the point where the people there are like, yeah, I know, that's why I'm standing right here talking to you about a pawn. Obviously for the audience, but they frame it to be them explaining it to the other parties involved. But like, I don't think anyone watching this show hasn't already watched Pawn Stars and doesn't know how this works. Nobody watched this one first.
I'd like to have $3,000 because I'd like to send my grandchild to dance class in New York City.
You got some beautiful stuff. But, you know, with the economy like it is, a lot of people actually dumping a lot of their better livestock now because they can't feed it.
And I mean, I'd rather just go ahead and pawn the whole bunch if you feeding them and housing them and everything else. I know the colts are not worth as much.
But he's got some heavy jennies that
He's
hadn't
got some
dropped,
heavy
too.
jennies that hadn't dropped. I saw that.
So it's all going to average out.
I know.
Would $2,000 help you?
I like how Jimmy wanted to bring his daughter along on this one so she could get some more experience in the field, and then just not letting her get a fucking word in whatsoever. She has tried to talk 3 times already. Also, they said she did her first pawn at 9 years old. If that's the case, what is she, 10? Because this looks like her second.
Oh, I mean, this if you don't have biscuits, cornbread will do. You know, anything would help.
I'll write that one down. I like that.
That means you got to eat a lot of bologna sandwiches, you know, but sometimes you got to do what you got to do. And $2,000, she'd probably make it. Looks like we got a deal.
We got a deal, my friend.
Grandpa's gonna have some pretty shitty dinners for the next few months, but hey, she's gonna go dance. She's gonna go to the city and dance. On stage with the lights.
I tell you what I'll do. I don't want to try to move them in the heat of the day.
Right.
So maybe tomorrow, maybe the next morning early, we'll give you a call.
Get them picked up for you,
Very
let you
good.
know, okay?
My way of negotiating is not jumping in with a fierce counter offer. It's kind of like a dance. Both sides need to be smiling at the end.
So the first deal of the series is a success. Jimmy's got his donkeys and everyone's happy. So let's check back in at the pawn shop and see what the other cast is doing. Mainly Jimmy's brother.
Hey, what you got for us?
Well, I'd like for you to take a look at these.
I've never seen a $10,000 note before.
Wow. This is brother-sister pair.
And I have another one of those.
Another pair?
Another pair.
I am sorry for this man, but have you ever seen a more egregious way to spell the name Johnny? I'm sorry to anyone out there who spells their name like that. Change it. You can change it. People are still going to call you Johnny, but you'll have a normal spelt name.
Dumb question. What is a brother-sister pairing?
People think that Johnny is a son of mine. He's actually my brother, and there's 20 years difference in our ages.
President Nixon wanted to get rid of all the large denomination bills
Why was that?
because he was trying to attack the drug trade.
Now, I know collectible currency isn't the most obscure thing to pop up at a pawn shop, but man, does Jimmy know a lot about it. That's something that these pawn shop shows have in common, is the main owner having a surprisingly vast knowledge regarding all of history and whatever walks through that door. As if they majored in history and decided to use that degree to open up a pawn shop. Or the showrunners were like, hey, we're gonna send this guy in, here's your brief on $10,000 bills, study up and be ready tomorrow.
A $5,000 bill in this condition by itself is about $100,000. When you have the brother-sisters, you're looking at least $750,000 worth of bills laying here.
I'm just scared being in the presence of bills like this with the values that these are.
Get the fuck out then, Johnny. God damn, I hate you.
I could just imagine what you must feel like carrying around a $10,000 bill.
Something like a long-tailed cat in a room full of rocking chairs.
One thing I like so far about this show over Pawn Stars is the batshit crazy things coming out of the Louisianians. Like the dude pawning the donkey saying, well, if you don't have biscuits, cornbread will do. Or this guy saying, it's like a long-tailed cat in a room full of rocking chairs. What the fuck does that mean?
What can we do to help you?
I need some quick cash. Made a big inventory purchase earlier in the month, but left me a little short on cash, so I'd like to keep my employees and make sure that I can make payroll this month.
I may have mentioned this in another Pawn Stars video, but one of the funniest things you see on these shows is when a business owner comes in and they're like, yeah, I need to pawn this shit so I can pay my employees this month. If I was watching this and I see my boss, John YouTube, walk in and pawn his watch so that he can pay me this month, holy shit.
$20,000, it's not a problem on the loan. I want to at least make you an offer to buy them.
It would have to be an offer that would skin every cat in the alley.
If this guy has one thing up his sleeve, other than collectible currency, it is a cat reference.
$500,000.
Oh, you know they just cut to a commercial for either Forged in Fire or a commemorative coin.
$500,000. And I didn't smile.
$500,000. And 12 donkeys. And a pallet of cat food I just got from Canada.
It's no joke.
Neither am I, because I believe that offer's a little too low for me.
Okay, what would you take for them?
This would be $1 million collection to me.
Folks may know my brother is a lighthearted guy, but there is nothing funny about this.
I think Johnny may be more useless here than Tammy was at that donkey deal. Johnny's just like, oh my god, $1 million? I can't even count to that. That's gotta be what? 10 trucks at least?
Think about that. That's $550,000.
$500,000 is a lot of money. Think about that. You could pay your employees for what? 27 months?
The economy's not what it was 2 years ago. I'll do $575 on them right now.
I appreciate the $575. I believe they're worth more than that. I'm just going to have to stick with the loan that we talked about.
Yeah, I think they're worth more than $575, given the fact that you just said they were worth $750,000 at least, so I'm not gonna take that offer. Thank God. Good for that man. Like I said, not even 2 minutes ago, the dude said they were worth at least $750,000.
At least $750,000 worth of bills laying here.
Just think about how hard of an ass kicking he would have given himself when the post-pawn clarity kicked in if he had taken that $575.
Okay, the basic premise is you leave collateral with us, we loan you money on that collateral.
Okay.
You have 3 months to come back and redeem your items.
Okay, come on. Again, in case you still don't understand the concept of a pawn.
$20,000.
All right, good deal. Let's go get you
Fantastic.
some money. Thank you.
Thank you, Jimmy. Pass. Also, they didn't even call an expert in for this one. He was about to shake that man's hand for $500,000 without even considering bringing someone in to maybe take a second look at it, other than Johnny.
My shop is like the town hangout. It collects all kinds of interesting things.
The town hangout? Oh my god, what an awful, awful town. If they're like, hey, you wanna just go get wasted and hang out at the pawn shop for a little while?
And all kinds of interesting people. And then there's those regular customers. They're a whole other story.
Imagine going to a pawn shop, minding your own business, and then they just pan over to you and they're like, yeah, and then we got these fucking people.
Oh, man.
Look, it's an alien from Area 51.
You are out your damn mind.
Someone call the liquidator because I know he would scoop this thing up in a heartbeat.
Down here we get a lot of regulars trying to make a quick buck like Joker. That guy'll bring in just about anything he can find.
Once again, this is the first episode, but I'm already getting a whiff that this guy is going to be a regular on this show, which I cannot fathom a fate worse than being a regular, not only at a pawn shop in general, but on the History Channel series Cajun Pawn Stars.
Look at it. When the lights are off and you hide in the corner and watch him,
You hide in the corner now.
I guarantee you can watch it. Little bubbles come up. He burps.
As I've been watching the show, I can't help but think about the dozens of kids who were probably forced to watch this on a Sunday afternoon with their stepdad because he has the remote.
He's not alive.
They're the ones saying this, not me.
Joker, This is definitely one of the weirdest items that you've ever brought in.
Imagine how much of a waste of time it must feel being the B team on Cajun Pawn Stars, which is already the B team of History Channel pawn shop shows.
Have you ever seen a two-headed goat?
You ever seen this alien in a jar?
Freak Show started with a set of Siamese twins.
You can see it on her face. She's just looking down at this thing like, man, I had a good gig at State Farm. I don't know what the hell I'm doing here.
You know if Jimmy don't have one, he wants one.
Jimmy ain't here.
You're nuttier than a squirrel turd, hush.
Another addition to Louisianian sayings.
Give me $200.
Dude, 15 bucks. Because that's what I can buy them for on the internet.
15 bucks.
15 bucks. Kids love things like this. That's worth 15 bucks to me.
$100.
I'm getting the vibe that this man's visits into the pawn shop with random items of varying desirability also coincide with the liquor store across the street opening for the day.
Save $150. We want to give you $200.
Wrong with
We sure
you.
ain't finna give you $750.
10 bucks.
10 bucks.
So,
Yeah, he's getting a plastic bottle today. Nothing above the second shelf for him. So now Jimmy is going to go visit a relative of his. Sorry, a distant relative. For whatever reason, they made sure to add that in. And he's going to potentially swoop up an old car that may or may not be the same model and year that Bonnie and Clyde owned.
Wow, look at this stuff. You have a showroom here.
I collect anything from a shoe to a hat.
Gotta say, this is one of the weaker sayings on the show so far. I collect anything from a shoe to a hat? Oh, you mean 2 items often sold in the same corner of a Marshall's?
I spent the day out at my cousin Charles's place, checking out this Bonnie and Clyde car, and it's almost perfect. Almost. Now, I only have one issue. The Bonnie and Clyde car was actually a 34. This is a 36.
Well, that went to shit quick. Which means it's the perfect opportunity for Jimmy to do some good old-fashioned lowballing.
I'll do 6,000.
Nah, can't do it. Have you got anything you could throw into your trade? An alligator, a goat, and a view to make the difference up. Now, I know you.
Lord,
Come on, you've got to have some trade.
$7,500.
No deal.
Unfortunately, no deal, which means all Jimmy has done today is agree to babysit some donkeys and rare currency at the shop. Also, they got that little alien in the jar, but that wasn't even Jimmy's doing. That was all Johnny. Good for him. Well, guys, that was Cajun Pawn Stars, and I think we can all see why that show only had 2 seasons. Turns out not a lot going on down there in the pawnin' world compared to Las Vegas. As always, if you did like the video, consider liking below, commenting, subscribing if you haven't. Also, don't forget, merch, ChrisJames.shop, or on my store tab. With all that being said, thank you guys once again for watching. Thank you to Babbel for sponsoring, and I will see you next time. Goodbye.